Hey folks, welcome to the homestead. Taking a little walk down through the brush in the woods this morning. Thought I'd take you with me. It's a little windy, so I hope that you can still hear. And man, the sun is nice. We haven't had a day of sun in, I believe, over a week's time. It's just been rainy, drizzly, foggy, wet for like a week. Kind of nice to see that sun again. It's a little brisk this morning, but still it's nice. Anyways, so I wanted to tell you of my stupidity a couple of days ago. Maybe you can learn something. I did. And although I think with anyone we don't like to admit it when we do something stupid, but hopefully someone out there will learn from my mistake. Well, I just walked right into a bunch of blackberry thorns. Hold on. Yeah. All right. So, try to be, big on being prepared. Talk about that all the time on this channel. Being prepared and whether it's through prepping or just, having the things on hand on your homestead that you need. And I totally dropped the ball a couple of days ago. Doing some work around the house here on some things, and I needed a couple of tools and ended up needing a jack to lift something. And I took it out of our vehicle to use it, which is mistake number one. And used it. Mistake number two, forgot to put it back. And so I ended up later on that day needing to run into town. So I did. It was later on in the evening. So I run into town, come back, and wouldn't you know it, Murphy's Law had a flat. And the wrench set that I usually have in the vehicle and the jack to jack the vehicle wasn't there. Let me tell you, I was not too happy about that. Of course, I was only mad at myself for, number one, taking those out of the vehicle, which is you shouldn't do. If at all possible, any tools and stuff that you keep in the vehicle for emergencies or whatever need to just stay in there. And not something that you get out of. Any kind of get-home bag you might have, or first aid kit, or anything like that that you keep in your vehicle needs to just stay in there. Because too many times you'll do like what I did. You'll remove it to use it for something else and then forget to put it back in there. And then when you really need it, it's not there. Then I, of course, got busy and forgot to put it back in. Then when I needed to go to town, I didn't think about it and went to town, started coming back, and wow, I have no tire to drive on, and I couldn't repair it. So it was about 9 o'clock at night, and I parked the thing on the side of the road, and I walked the rest of the way home, which was only about 5 miles. The part that was no fun is that it was drizzly, foggy, no light out. Couldn't see the sun, or of course the sun. Couldn't see the moon or the stars or anything. And for those of you that don't live out into the woods like I do, there's no other lights. Occasionally a house might have their lights, but when you're out here in the woods, it's dark. I mean, you can't see your hand in front of you. It's so dark. So I had to walk home, and which was actually walking up the mountain that we live on, and then the next morning, which was yesterday morning, I had to load up the jack and a few tools that I'd taken out and walk down the mountain and get the thing fixed, and drove it back up to the house. But basically, I'm just telling you, don't make a stupid mistake like I did. Even those of us that try to stay really prepared for all types of emergencies. We make mistakes, and you know, that's the best way to learn, is by making mistakes. So I will know next time not to do that. And I knew not to do that when I did it. It was just something dumb that I did. I needed it in the moment, and I grabbed it, and I figured, well, you know, I'll just throw it back in there, and I forgot. Then I ended up having to go to town, which I hadn't planned on, and, well, it happened, you know. You can go to town 100 other times and never have a flat tire or problem, but the one time that you do it without the stuff you need, that's when something's going to happen. So this video is just a learning lesson on my part, and trying to hopefully share it with you and teach you that tools, any kind of emergency kits, first aid, anything that you have in your vehicle, those need to be dedicated solely to staying in that vehicle. Because you'll do what I did. You'll use out of it and then forget to put it back, and then when you really need it, you better have some good boots on to get yourself home. And I don't, you know, I'm sure there'll be people, why didn't you call a wrecker service? There's no wrecker service out here. So I'd have to call one from the nearest town to come out, and it'd be very expensive. So, you know, I figured I'd just walk it. Anyways, so that was a little short video I wanted to give you guys of maybe you can not make the same dumb mistake that I did. Whew, look at that sun. Gee, pretty. Get back over there. There we go. Woo, look at that. Alright, catch you guys later. It's Travis from the Homestead.